On the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Now, in the upright, this is a person who's clinging on to their physical possessions, their material possessions, right? This could be a person who's stingy with his or her money. This could be somebody who's stingy with his or her time. Feel barricaded, right? When somebody's like this, they're very guarded and very protective. This can also be somebody who's protective of themselves as a person. Because realize, our number one material possession is our body, right? But this is reversed for you, meaning that you're coming out of this energy, or your environment or surroundings are changing from this. Somebody who's been guarded with you may be letting down their guard more, right? That's a positive thing, unless, of course, we need to be guarded, right? But just to peek here, one of the cards I noticed when I was laying them down was the Nine of Wands. And this is also very guarded energy. This is wounded warrior energy. But this is somebody who also is letting down their guard. So we have this 2 times, one in the one card overall summary for the reading, and one in your future outcome card of what actually will be, what your physical manifestation will be. So that's really, that's really great to see that. It's very reinforcing. But it seems like you're going through some work to be able to open up and trust. That's what I'm getting from this overview of these cards right here. You've had some kind of victory in something, or you're going to be having a victory. But this 10 of Wands here, there was some kind of burden, responsibility, overwork, something that you were doing to bring home the bacon that was really exhausting. And in the reverse, you're coming out of that energy. You're laying down your burdens. Maybe you're able to delegate some of those burdens to other people. Maybe you're learning how to set boundaries with people to say, it's your problem. That's why they call them your problems, right? It's your problem. It's for you to solve. It's your karmic lesson. It's your spiritual growth lesson. You need to learn that, not me. This can be a very great card for people who are learning to do just that. Now, this next card we have here is the Five of Cups in the reverse. And in the upright, this is somebody who's feeling the disappointment of loss. They've got 3 overturned cups here. 2 are still remaining, but there's a focus on the pain and the loss of what was in the 3 cups that were overturned. Part of our healing is to grieve and release, and then to acknowledge the 2 that are still remaining, and to be able to move forward, to let go of whatever this burden or responsibility was for you. Let it go and move on. Now here we have the Death card, and it is in the reverse. So that could be a delay of that type of release energy. But since this 5 of Cups is also in the reverse, you're coming out of that energy as well. So this death here, I'm guessing, is either that you've been going through the grief or loss of something that was important to you, which, remember, the 5 of Cups is about a grief or a loss as well. Not a physical death of a person, but a disappointment or heartache of a kind. This death energy is either lessened because it's in the reverse position, or it's delayed in approaching. But given these other 2 cards, it really seems like you may be hoping to move quickly through the healing phase, possibly without doing the different changes, making the changes that you need to do, or being able to release everything that you need to do. So it's going to take as long as it's going to take, and please be patient with yourself in that. But this sense of loss, it is going away. It is going away. It is ending. You're at the end of this period of time, this emotional journey. And we see in the center here, the 6 of Wands is about victory and success and triumph. So that's how we know that this is true right here. The things that you've been hoping for, you're wanting to get through whatever it is that you've been going through. There's been some kind of illusion, deception, maybe mental health crisis, maybe some kind of lack of clarity in something. Lack of clarity. But this indicates triumph over that situation. Triumph to the point where you no longer have to feel guarded in a situation that previously left you feeling a little battered and torn. It's like you're ready to just kind of move on from that and to say, whatever this was here, I'm over it. I'm moving on. This person's coming home from battle successful. This person is coming home. They are home from battle successful. This person's feeling her scars. This person is feeling a release of that. And just to remind you again, we had this energy over here, which is about being able to open up, to be more generous with yourself, with your person. And let me point out, too, we have another lack of generosity card here, the Six of Pentacles. This can be, there's a lack of generosity in the reverse, of course. This is a lack of generosity between individuals. In the reverse, it's one person's doing all the giving and one person's doing all the taking. It's not a reciprocal situation, which could be why this tight-fistedness. Maybe you became selfish of your time and yourself because somebody else was draining you dry, and that was this overburdened feeling that you were doing. But it may have been that whoever you were dealing with was struggling with mental health issues, or maybe they weren't being completely honest with you. They weren't telling you what was going on. And therefore, this part came into play, where you finally said, in order to be victorious here, I'm going to have to just kind of cut it out. This Knight of Swords can be just a cutting out of something, right? Both of these guys are launching forward. This guy's horse is calmer. His is leaping forward. Truth, he's going to say it like it is, and so on. This could indicate that there was somebody that cut it out, or cut you out, or was being bad behind your back. By being bad, I mean not being good to you, right? Because look at this card here. Lack of reciprocity in a relationship, lack of generosity, whether that's work or home or relationship or whatever. And here's a sense of clearing it away, right? This next is the Six of Cups, but it's in the reverse. In the upright, this is about a happy reunion. This is not a happy reunion in the forward motion. This is almost the opposite of that. It's sort of a cutting away of things from the past that you used to romanticize about. It's about clear thinking and clearing up your thinking, moving out of this disappointed energy of the overturned cups and looking at what you do have and saying, I'm over it because I got to move on here. I think when you get to this death phase of this relationship or whatever that was, I think you're going to find that it's not quite as painful as you thought it was, because you've been feeling this sense of burden for a long time. Somebody else was not pulling their weight, and that's why we saw this in here. It's sort of like you were taking care of somebody, and they weren't doing their part in that. And it had to be cut out. You either had to draw the line and say, no, I'm not going to have it. And they had to toe the line or learn how to toe the line, or you said, I'm done. But this is really great from a sense of personal empowerment and taking care of yourself. Sometimes boundaries that we set with other people are the very things that indicate how much we actually really love them. It's us being kind and being honest when we say we can't shoulder all of that burden by yourself. And there's a bit to self-love as well. In order to take care of ourselves, sometimes we have to be able to put ourselves and our needs first. How can I give something of myself to you that I no longer have? We did have a jumper, and it happened pretty darn quickly. Just on the surface, oh my gosh. This ties in exactly with what we were discussing. Transformation, I use the term discussing loosely since this is a soliloquy at this point. I'm just teasing, a monologue. A fresh new way of living emerges. It's a phoenix, right? Let me pull up the book because I really want to read that to you. And this card is from my brand new Denise Lynn Sacred Traveler Oracle cards. This is a gift from a friend of mine who just got back from a week in Sedona and the Grand Canyon of Arizona. And let's see. And little did my friend know that that was a deck on my wish list. So how cool is that? Totally random or totally synchronous. Let's see, I believe in that. Transformation, a fresh new way of living emerges. You are in a time of huge transformation. Old beliefs, ideas, and decisions about who you are and what you deserve in life are dropping away, replaced by incredible vitality and new pathways. Soon you'll be experiencing the world in a fresh new way. Yes, right? Yes. The Sacred Traveler wants you to know the journey transforms the traveler. When the traveler arrives at the destination, the traveler is no longer the same person who started out. Even if there are some areas that may be murky or unsettled in your life, don't be concerned. This is the confusion that often appears before the rebirth. Like the phoenix that arises majestically from the ashes, a big change in your life is at hand. Don't hold on to old ways of viewing the world and limited ways of thinking. Be willing to see the world with fresh new eyes. Changes are afoot, and it's all so very good. Thank you so much, Taurus. I really appreciate your spending time with me today. Again, check the description box below if you're interested in a personal reading to see how some of these energies may apply to you, or if this reading did not even resonate for you. Maybe you're in a different spot in your life. We can figure out what's going on for you personally.